Let's go. All right, everybody, it's time for another episode of DWMOD, and that's right, it is that time of the year. It's back, baby. It's the Big Six picks for the next 17 weeks, man. You guys know what it is. If you're new to the crew, we're going to explain it in a minute when we bring in our special guest picker for week one. I guarantee you're going to know who this guy is. Look, we're going to go through quick hits. We're going to go through all of it, man, like knock it off. We're absolutely going to do no way. We're talking Lions. We're going to talk Underwood's first start. We're going to talk Major League Baseball balls. We're going to talk a little Terry Funk, man. And Louis, just go ahead and start the show, man.
We cutting loose.
Touchdown.
Ready? College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down. Hook.
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready?
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Andy St. Clair in the house. It's week one. It is week one of a new season of Big Six picks, baby. You ready?
We made it. We finally made it. Hey, I was just saying, who won last year? I don't even know. Was it you?
I don't remember who won the last 2 years in a row, but I think it was me. Yeah.
Oh, it was you?
I think it was. I think it's repeat. I think I'm looking for the three-peat this year.
All right. Then I can guarantee you I'm going to focus up here. I'm not going to just throw these.
Hey, you're going to need to focus up, man. So listen, if you guys are new to the crew, because we're on cutting loose now, the eyeballs are growing. We're getting more folks to the show. If you're new to the crew, it's Big Six picks for the next 17 weeks of the NFL season. We're going to have a guest picker on the show. We will pick 3 college football games. We will pick 3 NFL football games, and we will make our picks, and the guest picker will make his picks, and we'll keep a tally for the whole season, guys. And at the end of the year, there will be a champion of the Big Six picks. Big Six picks brought to you by the official beer choice of DWMOD podcast. Guys, that's Old English 800. You got to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Now, Andy, last year, I have to go to my paper here because last year, the rundown of guest pickers we had on the show. Okay. This is a new year, but last year we had Jerron Horton from the Tom Brady roast. He's back. We had actor, director, filmmaker Anthony Finelli, who just also happens to be Burt Rivers, Frozen in the 70s from the gambling commercials you've been seeing lately. He's not only in our Gordon Butterfield Invitational Fantasy Football League, you can play against Burt Rivers, but he's going to be back on the show again this year. We had Adam Peacock from My Neighbors Are Dead, Tankhead Mo, and Gabe McAteer. These guys are traveling comedians. Bad Boy Records Grant Lancaster, Hollywood stuntman Adam Horowitz was on the show. We also had the great actress, writer, director, and social media icon, Bill's Mafia family member, Eliza Hayes Meyer. Remember, she was on the show. She's going to be back for a show. It just keeps going. American Gladiators, Laser. We had Laser from Gladiator on. Listen. It was a great year last year, Andy.
Yeah, for sure.
But this year is going to be even better because, as my man Benny the Butcher says, last year was about Brandon. This year's about expanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's who we should always be quoting is Benny the Butcher.
Always quoting Benny the Butcher. Butcher coming. The Butcher coming, man. If you don't know, you better find out. That's good stuff. After we're done with this episode here, you know the drill. You can tune into All Right Bet. We're going to be giving you all our picks for the week on All Right Bet on its own episode. It's time for another episode of All Right Bet. You know, I'm not going to play that whole song. That's a thing. And if you know what that whole thing is, but we're going to get over to that. Our Major League Baseball picks we hand out every single day across our social media platform, guys. 6 picks a day. We're closed in on 500 wins for the baseball season. We made you a bunch of money. We're going to give you college games over there. We're going to give you NFL games over there because it pays. It pays. But Andy, the task at hand. Now let's get to our guest this week. Our guest this week is like last week. Pretty good week for us. We did our NFL preview show. We did our week 1 gambling show, north of 10,000 views on that already. Like, that's okay. That's a sneeze to the guy on the show this week, man. That's a sneeze to the guy on the show this week. We got Wayne County Life's Garrett Fuller on the show. Wayne County Life, you guys are familiar with this. A million, Cody, Dip Cup, Uncle Terry. These are some of the characters that this guy plays all over the internet. Millions of followers, millions of views, and just a great dude, Detroit comedian scene. Welcome to the show, Garrett Fuller. What's up, boss?
What up? How are you guys?
Doing well, man. Doing well. How's things going?
Awesome, man. Nice to be here. There's no way I can top Laser. I just want to shout out Laser, dude. It's an honor. It's an honor to even be in those footsteps,
Right.
like-
Now Laser's he's gonna be top of the line for sure.
Oh, it's a shadow I don't want out of,
No.
I want to be in that shadow.
Yeah, oh man, he don't hold back either too. He'll tell you all kind of stuff from the show, man. It's great. It's fucking great. He's a good dude, man.
Oh,
He's a
bro.
good dude. And people don't know, man. He was like a big, like one of the greatest football players in the state of Montana's history.
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh, played for the Rams, played at Montana State, took them to a national championship game, I think. I think they ended up losing it, but he's one of the greatest, most decorated high school football players in the state of Montana.
That wasn't covered in the multiple documentaries I watched on the American Gladiators that came out at the exact same time.
No, but you could see it in Powerball.
Yeah. Okay.
You can check it out in Powerball, man. Well, listen, nobody needs the success of Wayne County Life speaks for itself. The characters are hilarious. Now, this is a whole new crew of people probably putting eyeballs on this, though, man. From Atlanta down here to the people in LA, we've got a group of people in Germany that tune into the show every single week. I can only assume it's from a military base. I've never gotten that confirmation, but I'm always like, hey, to the troops, it's got to be some troops over there.
Yeah.
So maybe they're unfamiliar with Wayne County Life too. So let's just give them a little taste of some of the things that you do on the show. Like this character Dip Cup is hilarious. Like this, you tell us about Dip Cup.
Yeah, so it's a social media page that's kind of like doing satire on Metro Detroit or kind of just people you would see in the Midwest. And so one of those guys is named Dip Cup, real name Dylan Stanko, but everyone's been calling him Dip Cup since he was a teenager because to me he was one of those guys carrying around a Mountain Dew bottle and just kind of spitting in, that all day in class. And then he thought it was cool to be called. Everyone's like, all you do is carry a dip cup. We're just going to call you that. And he thinks that's cool for some reason. But it's the guys you would see in the Midwest, probably down south too, where it's just like the guy in the camo hat with the high vis shirt and their landscaping, their blue collar. They always are wearing white rimmed sunglasses of some sort. They love hunting. They love trucks. They drive the trucks that are squatted in the back and high in the front and drive like that for some reason. And, just those guys are kind of everywhere now. And so just a lot of satire on like that type of character, that you would see.
And that guy draws attention, just so you guys know, draws attention from big stars like you're going to see in this video here. One of these stars trying to bang Dip Cup's wife, Kelsey, made an appearance on Wayne County Life.
Look at him like, Dax, stop.
You know he's like a famous podcaster, right?
You can't get famous from podcasts.
This is insane.
Watch this. Dax Shepard.
Oh, hey.
Hey, man, how are you, dude?
Good. Hey,
Holy shit.
Dylan, are you Dylan?
Yeah, I'm Dylan.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody calls me Dip Cup, though, dude.
Okay, I'm going to stick with Dylan, but welcome.
Is this where the podcast goes on, Dad?
Yeah, come on in. Yeah, this is it. This is the attic.
You were talking real tough when we got here, weren't we?
Be cool. My fiance is always like, why can't you be like this? Why can't you do this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm, first of all, I know Terry.
Okay.
That's why I said you could cruise by.
Right.
And obviously I've heard this before. Mm-hmm. But I'm not trying to come for anyone's wife. I got one inside.
Met her. Very nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Right. So obviously I'm not trying to go anywhere.
Okay.
So
you don't have anything going, like you don't care about Kelsey, right? Like
I mean, I imagine if she's with you.
Man, how did that work out?
We made a video, I made a video where we were listening. I listened to Armchair all the time. We were listening to a bunch of the podcasts, and everything he was saying was so just the perfect answer, of like a perfect sensitive guy. And Maggie was listening to my wife, Maggie was listening to them and just constantly was mentioning like, what Dax said about so and so. And it was my brain, like my jealous husband brain kind of went like, what else does Dax say, huh? What, he's Mr. Perfect, And so then I thought it was just like Dip Cup doesn't know what a podcast is. And then his wife's always talking about this guy named Dax Shepard. And he's like, who is this guy? Would he work with him? Like, why is he so perfect? You seeing him? And so then we did a video where I'm like, Dax Shepard, I need to talk to you, dude. You keep talking to my girl or something. You're Mr. Perfect. I want to find out for myself, dude. Like, I bet you don't, and I said all this shit and he saw it. And then he reached out to us and was just like, bro, I love the video. That's awesome and stuff. And so we were going out there for a Lions game. I think it was like when we played the Rams or Chargers. I can't remember which one. And we just messaged him, was like, we're going to be out there. Would you be up for just a quick video? And he was like, yeah, come on over. So that morning before the Lions game, we went over and met the fam and did the video and stuff like that. And it's been awesome. So we've actually done a few videos too with he has a non-alcoholic beer called Ted Seeger's, which which is actually delicious, but so we've been just kind of doing that and stuff. But he was so cool, so gracious and stuff like that. They all were. We met Kristen. It was awesome, dude.
That's pretty cool. You met Kristen. Now, Kristen, I know she was in high school like a year or two ahead of me at the rival school, Royal Oak Shrine. She's an old Catholic high school, Detroit area girl herself. I know that. Now, two things I learned from that video. Number one, Dax has a cool ass old school Detroit police shirt. I love that fucking shirt he's got in that video. That's classic. That's a classic. And number two, Andy, we cannot get famous from podcasts, man.
That's why I just found out. I always think when I see Dax, I'm like, dude just got so jacked like 3 or 4 years ago. Like he's just jacked now. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, watching that video back, all it makes me see is like how much work I have to do to look like that. I'm like, damn, bro. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, you just quit drinking, I heard, and it's like 2 weeks. You look like that.
Yeah.
Garrett, I think I went to that game, Lions Chargers. It was like high scoring game. It was like 45-42 or something like that.
That's right, Andy. Yeah, we have a picture together, and that's right. We were at the same game. Yeah, that was a wild one. That was
a great game. Lions won, but they won by 3, but it was like 90 points. 90.
Yeah, it's been I love coming out there. I don't know. Like I personally, maybe just because I'm a out of town person, I like going to SoFi. It feels very comfortable in there. And
SoFi's awesome. It's a great stadium. It really is.
Bitch to get in there, from where we're always staying, but I'm sure that's fucking everywhere we've gone. So
get in, get out. That is the I went to night 2 WrestleMania there.
Oh shit. See, yeah. I've still never been to a Mania, which is sad.
Me neither, buddy.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Me neither. I love that SoFi third tier.
Where Cody loses to Reigns, I would have bet my life Cody was going to beat Reigns.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It was that one, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, that third floor at SoFi is like the best at like night games or night concerts. So you go up there because it's all open air, and that breeze is just whipping around up there. You're like, this is fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's that warm, just freaking California air. Yeah, that's nice, dude.
It's a nice fucking stadium. It's a nice stadium. Now let's touch base really quick on Uncle Terry. Now, this is everybody's favorite character on the show. This guy's hilarious. If you're from this area, this one. Listen, Cody's a little more on the money as far as from people from this area, but that's annoying. The Uncle Terry character is fucking great. And this dude, like my man, absolutely living the dream I had squashed for myself 3 years ago. Partnered with Bally's, doing the Bally's thing, making appearances in with the Tigers, the Pistons, the Red Wings, doing shit with the team. Here's a video here. If you think I mean he's just doing commercials and stuff. No, sir. No, sir.
Tell me about Wayne County life, and from where are you hailing in Wayne County?
Well, John, I don't really. Hey, let's just say I'm from the heart of Wayne County.
You're a rock star. You can't tell people where you live.
I'm everywhere, John. Everywhere in Detroit at all times. That's where I'm from.
All right, you've got a couple of.
That's just dead on. I'm everywhere in Detroit.
That was one of the most dream come true things ever right there, to just like go in that just to go sit behind that table that I'm watching every single night. Like Andy, you probably have a couple guys that as you wear a Royals hat, like there's probably guys you watch on the same telecast at home, like
oh yeah, dude, guys you grew up, you love, but you realize like 30-40 years later there is a group that loves them, but most people don't know who they are.
Totally. Like regionally they're so famous to us, but like nowhere else. They can go everywhere, but going back there, it's like I can't believe they're gonna let me do this. So
it's so fucking awesome. The one thing John just told on himself during that video too, you're like, John ain't from the neighborhood, man. You don't ask somebody where they stay on the air. It's like, so where exactly are you from? And you're like, my man.
That guy does have a sweet. Terry's got a sweet jacket though. That jacket is dope.
Oh, baby, I got 2 of those bad boys. Yeah, that's an iconic. I love those 80s ones, and the Tigers always had such an awesome one with just the D on it. I love that one. Yeah.
Oh, it's a fucking great jacket, man. We were just talking a few minutes ago before you jumped on, Andy, and Garrett. You can go into it a little bit if you want to, but Uncle Terry was like guest referee at one of those local high school gymnasium like wrestling productions, like the semi-pro wrestling productions and stuff. Hilarious if you didn't see some of these videos, but you tell us about it, Garrett, because that shit was funny, man.
Yeah, so like I kind of met a guy who has a awesome toy store here called Time Blaster Toys, and he's a local indie wrestler as well. And when he said that, I go in there for wrestling figures all the time, and when he said he was an indie wrestler, I was like, anything I can do, let me know. And so we set up a match where I was the special guest referee in a tag team, and he was in one of the tag teams. And to be a part of that as a lifelong wrestling fan, to be backstage and plan the spots, and I get to come out and stuff and pick because I'm like the special guest referee, I get an entrance, which is hilarious. So I got to come out to Bob Seger, and it was just, but then it's so funny because I'm in the ring for the first time, I did it before the show, like just kind of moving in there and stuff. And they're like, Gary, you up for like taking a bump? And I swear to God, I felt that thing and I was like, no, man, I don't think I am up for that. Like, and Mike, who runs Wayne County Life with me, who's a lifelong wrestling fan as well, he's like, aren't you going to take a bump? And I was like, bro, if I take a bump, we can't do videos for about 2 weeks, dude. It felt like fucking concrete. I was like, dude. So
those guys, I've been in a couple rings, and never do what you did, but those things it's much harder. It looks like I can do it. I'm fine. John Morrison, who we've talked about in this podcast, he used to have a ring behind in the back of his old house. We'd go to his house, whatever ever over there, and I would get in the ring, and I remember being like, "Come on, just slap me."
Right?
He's stronger than me, but I'm a little taller than he is. Obviously, stronger than me. I don't need to say that. I took one bump, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. I'm sure I had like 7 to 10 drinks in me, and I was like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Oh.
Yeah, Andy, I always say that like all of us, like the improv guys who love wrestling, we're just wrestlers that can't do the physical stuff. We just refuse to do it.
Yeah.
So we should have. The second I would have taken my first bump, I'd have been like, I'm more of a manager, I think.
Yeah, right.
I'm a ring announcer that never gets involved in the action.
Hand me a mic, then I'm Shawn Michaels, pal. But like, no, I'm not taking a bump. Like,
first real bump you ever take, you immediately go from, I think Macho Man was the go-to, Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan, probably the smartest.
Exactly. And so, like, I'm jumping in and out of the ring, going through the ropes and stuff, which is its own fucking feat to go through the damn, ropes every damn time and figure that out. And then I'm running through the crowd and stuff like that. And I told Mike, like, I've done tons of live theater. We all have and stuff, but this is different, man. This is mayhem. I'm running in the crowd trying to get them in the ring. I was so gassed, Andy. When they finally got back in that ring, I was like, I don't give a fuck what happens.
It's all I was thinking of. It's all when you were saying you're running around the ring. I'm like, that dude's fucking washed. He's washed when he got back in the ring.
When I'm telling them, after a while, I'm like, I'm improvising, but I'm just yelling from my heart. I'm going, please get back in the ring. Like, I can't even move anymore.
Fucking Thanksgiving turkey, man, just roasted, bro.
Dude, I was baked up in there, dude. I got a wig on, the mustache. I am a mess, dude. Like I'm like, we got to get in and get out here, dude. Like
my fucking mustache is gonna start coming out.
Yeah, and I botched one of like the counts, and they're like, Garrett, what happened? I was like, I didn't even know where the fuck anyone was. Like, moving so
fucking hilarious.
He's into this, but it turned out awesome. But it was holy shit. It was to be in that was like I felt like I'm in the business now. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm a wrestler.
That's awesome, man. Now you're a big wrestling fan, Garrett. Now, are you a fan of Survivor at all? Or you ever watch a bit of Survivor or not?
A little bit here and there.
So John was on Survivor.
That's right. Yes.
Right? So he told us this hilarious story that you'll appreciate as a wrestling fan because you understand wrestling terms, right? Yeah. So I won't get long-winded on it, but he's like, you're out there, you're fucking starving. He goes, that part's real. And especially if you got muscles and shit, like you watch the show, you see the people that are in really good shape start going downhill fast. They don't have like fat. to eat,
Right.
you know? So he's like, I'm fucking starving, like 2 weeks into this thing. And then all of a sudden we're looking around every morning by the campfire, and all of a sudden the coconuts from the trees are just magically all over the ground. You know, he's like, they come in and put them on the ground for you during the, you know, he breaks that secret. You know, you don't have to find the coconuts, they're giving them to you. But he goes, but they become a commodity, man. Like, you want to eat them, but you got to play the game. So you share them with everybody. He goes, well, one day I'm busting a coconut open, and I busted my thumb open pretty good. And I started getting blood all over, but finished up the coconut and then, like, you know, kind of just washed and rinsed it all. But nobody would touch it because I bled. Everybody's like, no, 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 no. So he was like, so I was eating fat for the next 4 or 5 days, because every time I go get a coconut, I just get a little color, and nobody would eat the coconut with me, and I'd eat it.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong motherfucker about blood, dude.
Yeah.
He'll pop open a fucking little bead on his head all damn day.
Hilarious. He goes, I just get a little color and no one will share coconuts with me.
Marking it with his blood.
Oh, fucking hilarious, man.
So
Hilarious.
great.
Listen, I wanted to touch base. Now, Garrett was one of the original guests on DWMOD when we were just fledgling, doing like an episode every 2 months, trying to figure the damn thing out. You were like the third guest ever on this show.
I think we did it in your hotel room too one time.
No, the first one we did in my basement over there in Detroit.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. And then because I was just getting ready to move to LA.
Yes, God.
And
it was
then
that long ago.
You also did the 11th one we did in a hotel at a comedy festival. We did in a hotel room.
That's right.
And now I remembered on that first one, we were both super mad at Jim Harbaugh. Well, you loved the fact that he was doing all the videos and being crazy and shit. And I was like, this motherfucker's driving me nuts. I hate it.
Hated it. Yeah.
I hated it. And then by the time we did episode 11, which I think was like 2 weeks after All Black Dodge Ram went viral.
Interesting. Wow, that's
It was
wild.
like right after, because we were talking about it at the beginning. Like, this is crazy. I just had a video go like super fucking viral.
Cool,
And then Harbaugh had quit doing all that shit and started coaching the team, and they started doing well again, and we loved it. So I just bring that up because we're getting to Michigan stuff today. You know that.
I've listened to your advice on that from now on, though. Like, I learned my lesson, because you were absolutely right. When he stopped all the theatrical bullshit, things took off. Now they can blame it on Connor Stallions or whoever the fuck you want. But I'm like, no. This fucker finally got down to business. I do think he had some sort of nervous breakdown of some sort, because he disappeared for a second there and was gone. And he had some sort of health issue in the middle of that somewhere.
Yeah, losing a lot of games and almost getting fired.
Right. Yeah, something. You know, like, I'm just like, he was a bad coach and was losing his mind. And then something fixed it. When the Woody Hayes glasses went away and he was just a regular guy again, I was like,
off all the bullshit and started coaching.
And I've followed that, Mike, from then on. Anytime a coach is doing something silly, I'm like, you don't want to play football. Fuck off. You're not. This isn't a real team.
PJ Fleck, motherfucker. if you're a PJ Fleck show off, I'm not with you. I'm not with you.
When Brian Kelly did the family, I was like, that's not, you're fucking everything up, dude.
You're fucking
like,
out.
This is going to be an uphill battle with you, Brian.
Terrible. But listen, we're going to get to another U of M prediction I gave you back in the day later. We're also going to get to talking about Michigan later. We're going to get a little bit into the Connor Stallions thing, a little about what kind of bullshit that was. But right now, we're going to take it into quick hits, keep this thing moving. Now, you're in for a treat here if you're new to the crew. All right. And Garrett, I'm sure you're familiar with Gordon Butterfield. Now, this is minor league baseball Hall of Fame announcer. He's been with us from the start, and he handles our advertising for us. So this week, Quick Hits is brought to you by Gordon Butterfield and What Just Happens and True Laundry Detergent.
Oh, what just happened?
What Just Happened is brought to you by True Laundry Detergent. It's a locally owned company, and these fellas live in the neighborhood. They're saving you money. There's 101 loads in one bag. They got laundry detergent and fabric softener. They've even got dry sheets for you. Got sensitive skin, they've got the free and clear. No fragrances, no dyes, no additives. Well, if you don't like liquids, they've even got the detergent sheets. Just drop one in every load. There's 60 loads in that box. Just head on over to the TrueProducts.com for all your laundry needs. And don't forget to use your code CuttinLoose1 to get your 10% off your first order. That's True Laundry Detergent. It's Gordon approved. It's always a game of chance on the giant water slide, but Janet Kopakowski's ready to see what turns up on the river. And take off. Oh, she's too stiff. That's a bad idea. Fusion surgery. Oh, my. Let's take another look and see where she destroys vertebrae C4 and 5 and 6 and 7. She's sky high and looks like she died 5 days ago. Rigor mortis. Oh, my. Her back's as red as a beet.
Oh, what just happened?
That poor woman.
Wow.
Man, Gordon still sounds so mentally sharp, though. He's still really got it, you
He's
know?
sharp as a tack.
What a
man. He's
legend, dude.
He's
One of the
kind of,
Bernie
I mean, I
Sanders
feel like
types.
he's kind of a maniac, but last week I got a out of nowhere voice memo from Gordon Butterfeld. And I got to tell you, I was fucking walking on cloud nine. when I
That's
got it.
amazing. Anyone who got over a catchphrase of just rigor mortis.
Yeah.
Oh, Gordon, we love you, brother. We're blessed to have Gordon on the show. Let's get to some quick hits. All right, we all know that Bryce Underwood, he was the fourth true freshman ever to start at the University of Michigan. And I'm wondering, can you guys name the other three? Now, here's the photo here. And I bet Garrett, I bet you know the answer to this one. But I don't know, Andy, you know some of these guys?
Is 2025 Underwood? 2009. I don't know that guy. Is that, I want to say, I thought maybe Drew Henson might be in there, but he's not, huh?
No.
I don't know. I don't know him. No, I don't know any of them.
Garrett, you know who they are.
Oh, baby, yeah. That's
Yeah,
Rick,
you know
that's Rick Leach, baby.
Rick
Yeah,
Leach, number 7.
4CA and Chad Henne.
Chad
Bryce
Henne.
Underwood, yeah.
And
Chad
take-
Henne threw he threw the state record javelin for Pennsylvania when he was in high school as well. That's a little fact.
oh,
there.
really? Didn't know that.
Yeah, he
Didn't
owns.
know that.
I don't know if he still owns the record for Pennsylvania, but boy had a cannon on him. No one ever talks about it, but
Yeah, he
threw
did.
a deep ball. Like he's probably my favorite Michigan quarterback. I think the one we have right now is going to turn out to be my favorite, but he was my favorite.
Probably. I mean, easily one of the greatest Michigan quarterbacks ever.
For sure. Oh, and never lost a job, never was in trouble. You know, he was just a dude, man, for 4 years. I thought that was a regular occurrence back then. That would happen a lot. Like there wouldn't be so much turnover. And for 4 years, he's just the guy. And he had Ryan Mallett behind him for a while, who was a big gun, man. And Ryan just couldn't keep it together. And so Chad just was the man for a long time.
Nah, he was great. He's still playing. Isn't he? He's still back.
No, he retired.
Last year.
Maybe 2 years ago. That last game, he was the Chiefs backup. And then he won that playoff game against the Browns, basically.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like fourth down. I think he ran like 5 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, or maybe
me and my friends, we were going nuts that night. We it was the first time in like a decade we had been like, anytime, let's go. Like
that was the game that Mahomes goes out, right? He goes out in like the second or third quarter. The Browns are right there with the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
We're fucked. And then Henne came in. I'm like, hang on.
I wish we didn't known each other, Andy, because I was never so sure in my life. I'm like, no fucking way. He does not lose. This fucker's gonna be fine. He's been waiting for this. Like,
I was on the other side being like, I don't know what Henne's gonna do. He seems so old.
Yeah, totally. I just love like the one last gun. Go for it, Henne.
He had one last, and then I think the Chiefs won the Super Bowl that year, and I'm like, well, Henne saved them. He saved them.
Oh man! And number 7, he was number 7 at Michigan. I have his jersey, and like number 7 has always been the perfect number for a quarterback to me. So when he was wearing, I'm like, yes, I love it. So
yeah, man, awesome. That was the game. He single-handedly showed Baker Mayfield the door in Cleveland because the Browns were like, we've sucked forever. Now we're on the cusp of making it to a Super Bowl. He couldn't beat the backup. Get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
Get rid of this guy. Big mistake.
Henne's the last guy I'd want to be my backup, because he's got starter goods, but he just, I don't know what happened in the pros, but he can probably look real good a lot of times,
Yeah. Oh, but real good, man. Everybody love a backup.
I think he was like a professional backup, though. I think he
was.
I think he retired at like 36, 37. He had a great life. Probably made a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him. Chiefs fans remember him fondly. There's probably You never know. It's like what a great life that guy lived.
Oh yeah, he lives like a god at Michigan games too.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, and he was like a 5-star recruit. He's always been gifted. Yeah.
Yeah, there's only been one backup in my lifetime that I think has had a better career and is more well known and did better for himself as Charlie Batch. I mean, the Steeler fans fucking love Charlie Batch. He had a bunch of big wins filling in for Roethlisberger when he was injured a lot. He's an announcer down there now, got his own radio show down. Like, they fucking love Charlie Batch down there, man. They
That's
fucking love
cool.
Charlie Batch.
I assume you're not counting like Steve Young.
Well, no, he was a starter.
Well, he was a backup though for many years.
We can't count anybody that was a backup for 2 minutes. I mean, we can't.
Well, I bet Young was a backup for like 4 or 5 years. I bet.
Yeah, I don't know. He played in the USFL for a bit, so maybe he might have been. He might have been. You might be right. But what we're talking lifetime, talking lifetime backup guys. Yeah, fun fact: Charlie Batch showed me around on my visit at Eastern. Couldn't have been a nicer guy.
That's
Couldn't
incredible.
have been a nicer fucking guy.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's super nice guy. Super nice guy. And another fun fact: Tate Forcier actually has another year eligibility. He's playing at Sam Houston State on the COVID year and 4 injuries. I think his 9th season.
My all-time dude. I love his ass, but man, was he a trouble. That was just trouble all those years right there.
Yeah.
But he came in a few times, and I was like, this game slowed down for him. He was moving around, looking good for a while there.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that came in with more hype than him or that other little running back that came in. I can't remember his name. Tried to wear number 2.
Son of a McGuffey, Sam McGuffey.
And you know how I feel about anybody wearing number 2.
Hey, though,
nobody should wear it.
He medaled at the Olympics for the bobsled team, though, for the American bobsled team.
Oh, did he?
Yep, I know. Yeah, some of these random facts are coming up. I'm cracking up. Yeah, yeah. So I was like, hey,
tip of the Captain McGuff.
Yeah, McGuff, you're a patriot, bud. Thanks for your service.
All right. Way to go, McGuff. Let's talk a little Underwood. I know you want to get into it. Now, I know you took your kids to go see him play a game in high school, and you met him I know you had some pictures posted and things. What's your take on the kid, man? Where you at?
I don't know how much you guys have watched him and stuff like that, but to see him come out of high school and stuff, I'm not saying I'm a savant and I know who's going to be good and stuff, but from the second I saw him as a junior at Belleville, I was just like, go get him now to college. He was so above and beyond everybody else that I've ever seen. And I saw Drew Henson play at high school too. So, and this kid, he was first kid I ever saw. I was like, the football field looks too small for him. Like, he's throwing the ball around with these kids, and it's just like they can't see it coming, and he's just incredible. I knew right away. And then when he was going to LSU, I always thought that was so weird. I was like, LSU, what's happening? And then the money bags showed up. And so, and first time I've ever been like, hey, I like the wealthy people. I like billionaires and make things happy for me. So
the NIL, baby.
Yeah, now I honestly I know it's been one game and stuff like that, but to me he has just a beautiful release, beautiful touch, a cannon, and he understands the game. He's so on time. So I don't know. I'm very, very optimistic about him.
Yeah, he does, man. Like when you watch the first couple drives against New Mexico this week, I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and she knows football, and I'm like, you just look like he knows where to go with the ball. He is not like the game's not too fast for him right now. He's pulling that ball in the RPO. The running back comes down. He's hitting that guy right then. The safety moves over. He's hitting that other guy right away. He knows what he's doing. And when the game slows down a little more, he's going to be even better. Now, they started throwing some different looks at him down the stretch. We kind of got away from some play calling and just letting him do his thing, but you don't want to show a lot of stuff. You're playing New Mexico. You know what I mean? I mean, you follow me on that, but I thought he looked really good.
Yeah, it was the most kind of I've ever seen a guy.
I think
Did you watch a bit of it, Andy?
Yeah, I think he's I have to be honest. I had my concerns watching Week 1 Michigan offense because I thought New Mexico was not very good, and I didn't think Michigan also their offense wasn't like super impressed. I did say a couple weeks ago on the pod. To me, it's not this year's Michigan team. I think it's going to be a monster. I think it's next year's Michigan team is going to be a monster. But I do think the Michigan team this year, their schedule is about as nice as you can get for a Big Ten schedule. They avoid a lot of big dudes. I'm on the record saying play Michigan in the Big Ten championship game, right? Like I'm like put money there because I think that's where Michigan has the opportunity with the schedule. I will have some concerns with him with some of the bigger teams like this week's team, and with a defensive coordinator. but I do think the kid's going to be good. And I think this year to me is just going to be a survival learning year. And I think next year and then the year after that, if he stays there, I think it's a very, very high ceiling for those guys.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. What do you think? Well, we're going to get into what we think about Michigan, Oklahoma, and the Big Six picks here later. That's going to be one of our games for sure. But I'm with you, Andy. I also think that it's going to be like around week 5 or 6. We're going to see how this thing's clicking, and then Ohio State can start sweating.
Yeah.
The best thing to me too is like we have from a first game look. There's a couple running backs on our team and they can actually run the ball. Yeah. So it's not going to be a year where we're just like, hey, true freshman kid, even though you're talented, throw the ball, do it all for us. He doesn't have to, No. So feel like we got some running here to do. Yeah. So that's nice to see.
Yeah. I think so too, man. I think they're looking good. I think the future looks bright. Let's go, baby. Let's get it going again. Now, really quickly, I gotta ask you something on behalf of Louis. Now, Louis went to John Glenn, right?
Yes, he did.
Big rival of your Garden City. I'm going to get he's in my ear to knock it off. But no, we're going to put this up because if I'm not mistaken, Louis, nobody from John Glenn has ever asked you to do something like this. Right? What? How about that, Garrett? What are you doing there? Tell everybody what you're doing there.
Oh, I just that's just me giving the commencement speech in the heart of Wayne County, Garden City, the pride of Wayne County. But unfortunately, we're a city of gardens who has to live next to this town. Yep. I guess we have to call it, filled with these people.
Louis, they're not going to ask you to do that anytime over at John Glenn, are they? I don't think so.
They don't give commencement speeches over at John Glenn, bro. They can't find enough graduates.
Oh, damn. He's saying that your school has a daycare for babies at the high school. That's Louis. Let's
oh my God.
I wish I had a comeback for it, but
you got him.
Feels dead on.
A lot of young parents at that school, it sounds like.
Too many, Andy. Okay.
Oh,
too many, dude.
Only rivaled by Lincoln Park High School, he says. All right, we got to keep it moving. All right, before we get into No Way, do got to give a quick shout out here to local performer around the Metro Detroit area. Listener of the show is always sending us back feedback and stuff like that. Graham Leslie, and recently he was given a performance in Detroit and he was wearing one of the memorial shirts from my brother who had passed away. Shout out to Graham Leslie right there, wearing the shirt at the performance. He bought one of the shirts, was a fundraiser for the family, wore it out to one of the performances. So, Graham, thanks for being a listener, brother. I just wanted to tell you, I appreciate that very much, man. Thank you. And we've got a few of those shirts. They sold out, but we've got a few at the show here. We're going to give them away during the season for various prizes and things like that. So we'll be doing that. And Graham, I appreciate that very much. Now it is time to get into one of our favorite segments, Garrett, and anybody's new to the crew. I just want to explain to you really quickly what this segment is. No Way, and it is based off a very famous meltdown that Andy had on this very show one time. We were discussing, I don't know what we were discussing. I think I had said somebody was going to pull some kind of upset or win a game or I don't know what it was, but he melted down just like this.
No way. There's no way. No way. I don't remember who was right. Well, was I right or were you right? I have no.
You were probably right. Come on, you were probably right. You were mad enough to be right. Let's just say that. You know, when you're having an argument with your significant other or your wife, and they get really, really melted down like that, they're right. They're right. You just stop.
Yeah, when you hit the no way. No way.
No way.
Okay, well, we've hit something here.
Yeah, I love the slowdown at the end of it, like when you're coming out of that tunnel and it's like the light coming out with the train. It's like there's no way. I love it. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorites. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the Detroit Tigers. Number 1 team here in the American League. The Blue Jays and us are going back and forth. We're going back and forth a little bit, but they play gritty baseball, fun team to watch. They get very sloppy sometimes and the pitching gets smoked. So I'm a little worried coming into the playoffs. What say you about that, Garrett?
I thought the first half of the season, I was living in heaven. I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. He's built another great team here like the Astros, and second half here, I don't know. They just can't find it. Like they had the consistency's not there. I don't know. I'm watching every single night. I love the team. I think it's a solid team with depth, but I don't know, it's not kickstarting again. I'm much less confident now.
Yeah, as Tiger fans heading into the playoffs, you're usually in a spot where you're like, once we shrink the rotation, we're going to be fine. And we're not in that spot right now at all. Mize is our number 2, and he's all over the board. So
that's the thing. We're so used to like, oh, we know who our 5 are, and
yeah, shrink them to 3 in
Yeah.
the playoffs. We don't have that.
I don't have it, and that's terrifying to me. So I'm like, if you don't have 3, you don't have. I don't know.
I
you
mean,
don't have nothing.
Yeah, and the
So-
defense too. Like our defense was really good the first half of the season, and now you watch games. It's like watching a little league team. I mean, the balls are being thrown into the outfield, dropped fly balls, just errors. I'm like, this. They got some things they need to clean up. But Andy's Royals are banging down the door of possibly getting into the play-in, which I predicted at the beginning of the season, because their starting rotation, when it gets shrunk, it doesn't matter if they can't score runs; they can pitch.
Yeah, they're good. They're they got a chance. They just got to find a way to get past the Mariners and the Rangers now. Texas Rangers are right there.
Yeah,
and all those other wildcard teams. I think the key to Major League Baseball, like hockey, is you just got to get in and then roll it out to kind of a coin flip sport and see who's hot at that time. So, that to me is because of the AL. Like, who's going to win the AL? I mean, you can argue the Tigers, the Blue Jays, fucking Mariners, Astros. There's tons of teams. I have no idea. So it's just who gets hot.
What do you think? Do you think they could get to the World Series this year, Garrett?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be like the grittiest path of all time, where we're going to have like heart attack games. Every game goes 7, and I just feel like, no, I mean,
it's going to be exhausting. Lions are going to be playing and trying to figure themselves out at the same time. We're going to be gutting out these baseball games, but I'm glad you said gritty. Because there's some other teams out there that are playing some ballsy baseball right now. Like the Cubs started out real hot, then they got shitty. Now they're getting a little ballsy again. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Mike's Hard Lemonade was sponsoring a home run moment in the dugout at the latest Cubs game, and Suzuki hits the home run, and Justin Turner, man, this guy, they love him around Chicago, what he's done for the team. He's got some balls.
Brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade, for the love of lemonade, and it's you, Justin Turner. You are our fan of the game. Woo!
What the fuck is Justin Turner doing right there, man? That was on live TV, guys. That's on live TV. Look, can we get another look at that? Yeah, they went live to the dugout, Mike's Hard Lemonade, and here's Justin Turner. Here we go. Oh yeah, those are some saggy balls, bro.
No way. There's no way. No way.
How does that get on live TV, man?
I missed it the first time. I got to be honest.
Oh, you saw it the second time.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, those are droopy, bro. What's happening?
Yeah, so I get checked out there, dude. But didn't when Donnie Kelly was here, I swear to God, they were in a locker room one time, and he was behind like the guy getting interviewed, and he just fucking stripped ass naked, bro. And they just are like, Donnie Kelly's butt naked behind that guy right now, bro. We just saw everything, and they just glossed over it like it never happened. I'm like, no, it happened.
I fucking love it. I love it. All right, let's touch a little bit on wrestling again, because there's something that Garrett always busts my balls on, Andy. So we're gonna get you to be the tiebreaker here, man. I need you to weigh in and see what you think. He's always sending me photos of Terry Funk. He says I look just like Terry Funk, man. Let's take a look here. I can see it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. What do you think, Andy? I don't know. What do you think, man?
Well, he's got you looking like young Funk, and I gotta say that was a pretty good photo right there of you as young Funk.
I'm telling
old
you.
Funk, I don't know about old Funk. I don't know, but young, yes.
Yeah, listen, this one here, that photo there, maybe I can see it, but
no way. There's no way. No way.
But I will say they just came out with, you see all the toys behind Garrett there, the wrestling toys. I got my wrestling toys. They just came out with this Terry Funk figure, and now I got to give it to you. I think you're 100% right. Take a look at this figure, and I'm like, God damn, that's me. Look at this thing. Wait till it zooms in here. This is Terry Funk NWA figure. Look at the likeness is uncanny.
That figure's
uncanny.
Gorgeous too. Oh my God, that is you, bro. How do you not buy that instantly?
I need to probably.
You gotta get it. You do have to get it. Why wasn't Funk's final finishing move called like the Funk You, or like something like that?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
funk you up or something. You know what I mean?
Right? Don't funk yourself. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of possibilities with that name.
You know, they're making so many biopic pics or, biopics or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just saying, like, you would be asked to come in and audition at least.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be like, this guy can move in the ring. Look at him. We can do some stuff.
Let's your mouth to God's ears. Let me play Terry Funk and like his,
gotta be a project coming up. And I know you could do the Southern drawl. He's got it going. I'm like,
buddy,
no, you look like you could be a funk.
Yeah. No, I think I could do it, man. I a little bit of a mimic. Like I can imitate people pretty well. I bet I could do his voice. This could
not
be
a hard one. Yeah.
My Jamie Foxx to Ray Charles here, guys.
This is Timothy Chalamet doing his. Yeah, dude,
baby, please,
dude.
Please let me do it.
It's Oscar bait for you.
Oh,
you're in the Oscar race in like 2 years after this. Funk you.
Let's go. Movie. I need the part. Let's go. I'm hitting the gym tomorrow. I'm getting ready for this damn thing. All right. Well, let's keep the topic on toys here for a minute. We're big into toys, toy collecting and stuff. Now, recently I ran across some really odd figures, some really odd toys I thought, okay, I got probably a market for this. They're kind of cool. Now, here we go. They're called American Heroes, and this first pack is like British Grenadier against Sergeant Joseph Martin, who's some famous, Revolutionary War figure. Comes with a little 24-page book and all this, and they're commemorating, great moments in American history through like soldiers in war and moments of history and stuff. And I thought, okay, maybe. Now I don't know who this Martin guy is. They didn't do Washington. Maybe they didn't have the rights, but stay with me here because I think this Martin guy might have been Southern. Now, here's the next figure in the line is it's Iwo Jima, right? And that's the Japanese captain. And then there's a U.S. Marine and it's Iwo Jima. And, okay. And this one too, right? It's been a long time, guys. We're very good friends with Japan now. We have great relations with Japan. They did bomb Pearl Harbor. We weren't being the aggressor here. You know what I mean? It's one of those things to history. It's fine.
I gotta say, I don't like where this is going. I already know it's going bad. This is going bad.
Yeah, stay with me now. That one's kind of like
I'm gonna stay with you, but I'm already got my cringe face ready.
Oh, get it ready, buddy, because whoever's making these toys, they're gradually starting to go down here. That was getting their foot in the pool with Iwo Jima there because it was palatable, right? Here we go. Here's the next one. Oh, here we go. Mohawk kidnaps John Williams. Now they don't even give the Native American figure a name. He's not Geronimo or something. It's just a Mohawk. That's just a crazy savage Mohawk who kidnapped John Williams. Now we all know the famous story, right? John Williams and Pocahontas, and they kind of fell into each other, and then John Williams went willingly with her to try and work with the Native Americans to figure out the Northwest Passage. And they were kind of like partners and worked together. Kidnapped John. What are we trying?
Well, this is pre-Pocahontas. Clearly, this is pre-Pocahontas.
Talk about indoctrinating your own history here. And here we go, guys. Get ready for this thing to take the cake. You know what's coming. Civil War figure. Alabama rebel is repulsed by Colonel Joseph Chamberlain of the North.
What in the world?
Yeah, right there. Repulsed by Colonel Joseph Chamberlain of the North. All right. Who's making these toys?
Those are some wild ones.
Yeah. I got to say, look, it was bad, but it could have been so much worse.
I thought we were going down different alleys too.
Me too. I thought the car was going down just right down this different alley. I was like, oh God. I do not want to see what's coming.
I'm sure there's another set of figures that has to do with some kind of auction or the collecting of clothes making material that we are not going to promote on this show.
Those are the making these that they make for them.
What? Repulsed by the Northern. Who's making these toys, man?
No way. There's no way. No way.
No way. No way. We're out on those things, right? We're out on those things. What the? I come with a 20. I want to read the 24-page book of how repulsed the rebel soldier was. That's what I want to. What the fuck, man? Anyway, let's jump into this next one now. Andy, we have committed to roasting Paul Feinbaum on this show as much as we can. He's a clown. He's a clown. Here's what he had to say this week. Texas would blow out Ohio State. Arch Manning's the best player since Tim Tebow. Alabama national title contenders, and ranking them 8 was far too low. This guy knows everything about college football. He is the epitome of college football knowledge. Surely I jest he's a fucking clown. Am I right?
Yeah, he's very pro SEC, so he's it's so much to take with Feinbaum. Like,
Oh,
he's a Dumbo.
he's got to be one of your favorites, Garrett, as much as he railed on Michigan.
It drives me insane, bro. And then he's one of these guys. Here's my theory. A lot of these guys are starting to say like even more outlandishly stuff, just like trying to do anything, because I feel like money in the sports media world is just moving away from TV. And so they're all just reeling. They're all just like, what can I say to make you think about me tomorrow? And I love that we can keep receipts now like that. And it's just like, dude,
yeah.
Alabama got their ass whooped, bro.
Bro, if I ever got the chance to meet him, I would let him know, brother, you think your porridge is a lot hotter than it is. Let me tell you this right now. You started with a clown fucking show where you let 2-bit hillbillies call in and give the worst takes ever so you could try to correct them. And somehow, because that happens in the South, it got famous because they could get on the radio. They put you on TV. He's no different than like a Stephen A. He's become a caricature who just says the craziest shit ever. And you bring up a good point about the media, Garrett. I wanted to get to this and see what you think, Andy. But because we did our college football preview, and now we saw in the first week who some of these teams really are. And now I'm starting to see how this NIL money is really affecting college football outside the locker room. It's affecting the media to the point where the big dogs, the Big Ten and the SEC, they are pushing a message through the media about their teams that it's not really honest anymore. Like nobody's giving an honest take on it. Like Paul Feinbaum's job is to over talk teams that aren't very good so that all you know is Bama and SEC. And it's like, you can't get an honest take anywhere now.
It's early, it's early and yeah, but you do the Big Ten or the ACC, if you watch the ACC network, which I used to have, I think maybe it was on somewhere, like they just blow up their teams when you're like, these teams suck, like it's just going to happen. I think like it's, they're getting paid by those networks, those conferences, they got to talk them up. So,
and they're talking them up and inflating the rankings to a point where like Illinois is in the top 12 before the season. Don't disrespect Illinois. Love them. And I hope they do well, but a top 12 team. No, the media has talked that up because it makes money for the Big Ten and the SEC. I hate it.
Well, also I will say, someone like Illinois, but I think teams that return a lot of starters, and I think Illinois is in the top 20 of returning starters. Those teams are just being moved up higher regardless, because there's so much turnover in college. We don't know what to expect with teams. So I don't know why I'm defending Illinois. I don't really care about Illinois. I think they're upset.
No, they're fine, but like,
what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's what it is, though. Ultimately, is like teams that return a lot of starters are going to just be a little, higher up on the the list than others.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up because Garrett, I want to get your take on this. I think that this NIL and the money and the SEC and the Big Ten totally taking over college football and all that, I think it's really been a double-edged sword for coaches. And let me explain myself is like in the Power Four, it's a major problem for them because the turnover of the rosters is continuous. You got to recruit guys on your own roster to stay. Like Georgia last year was paying recruits monthly stipends just to not decommit. Like it's gotten crazy for the Power Four. But on the flip side, in the Group of Five conferences, it's the best thing ever. The transferability is the best thing ever for these young aspiring coaches like the guy we saw in the Michigan game, New Mexico, right? This guy comes from Idaho, and because of these new rules, he doesn't have to go into New Mexico and take this other guy's team and try to build it, and it takes 3 years to get his own players in. He can bring all the guys from his own system from Idaho with him, and they walk right into the door, believing into him, buying into him. The system's already built, and now a team that's supposed to be dead last in that conference probably won't be, and this guy will traject to a better job, right?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And it was like you could see in New Mexico's play too, like they were well oiled. And then when I heard all of this, that this guy had brought these guys from Idaho and stuff, and I was like, oh, nice little system you got there, But you're right. In the big Power Four, it's the only I don't mind NIL. It's just the fact that everyone can just move all the time.
Yeah.
How no rules been set in place is crazy to me still.
Yeah, it's crazy. Andy and I were talking last year, and then I'll go to you, Andy. But like one of my biggest problems with the NIL, Garrett, was like I got sick to my stomach when I started reading letters from ADs going out to the fan base about hikes in ticket prices and donating to NIL collectives. So if you want this team to be good, you've got to start paying extra money. And it's like the NCAA and these schools won't give these kids a penny. Collectives are paying all the NIL money, and now you're going to put it on our ticket prices to get better play. Like, you just won't chip in at all. I mean, go ahead, Andy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, just thinking about one of the reasons I think a couple weeks ago I told you I like Southern Miss, right? Is because the Marshall coach and the Marshall as whatever that conference Southern Miss is in, I can't even think of it right now. To win Southern, because the Marshall coach that won that conference last year all went to Southern Miss, all those teams.
Right.
If I think the real thing that will matter, and it has happened a few times this year, and it's going to happen more, I think, is the offensive coordinator and the quarterback, when they come as a tandem. I think there's only like 5 teams this year it happened on. Utah, who just blew the doors off UCLA, because it's important for the quarterback. It's important for the quarterback because he knows the offensive system. Because he don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. He doesn't care about like the other players. As long as the quarterback knows where the reads go to, blah, 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 and who to get the ball out, how to run a system. That's what's important. The other team it's happening on is who Michigan plays this week. Mateer and Oklahoma. The offensive coordinator and the quarterback came from Washington State to Oklahoma. It's a very big deal. Very big deal. And it will be a big deal, especially early in the season, and especially when you get a big game. And I'm not making my prediction yet at all. But when you have a big game like Michigan, who's running a freshman quarterback, who's trying to figure out the system, versus the Mateer and his offensive coordinators who already he knows the system, maybe just not the players. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a big deal. And we're going to see, because we're going to get to that Michigan game here really quickly shortly. All right, let's jump into some knock it off this week, but we're going to keep it on college football.
All right, everyone, time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Yes, that is Jamie Moyer, Garrett. Yes, that is. All right, have you guys heard? We can do this one quickly, because the absurdity of this playoff proposal from the Big Ten and the SEC to move to 16 teams, and they're both guaranteed 4 teams in. And I'm like, okay, this is an understandable move for these conferences to make. But here's where I think the Big Ten got real fucking goofy with it. And they got people in charge that don't quite get football. They want to forego the Big Ten championship game. Again, this we understand. You don't want to get bumped down for losing your conference championship. They've been trying to get out of these championship games, these conferences. They want to, though, in lieu of the Big Ten championship game, have number 2 play number 6 and number 4 play number 5 that weekend, because the top 4 teams get in. So whoever finishes 1-2 in the Big Ten is in automatically, right? So then they want to have the number 3 team play the 6 team, and the number 4 team play the 5 team, and a one-off to see who gets those playoff spots. And I'm like, you're going to get like number 3 Penn State, and let's say they end up playing number 6 Illinois, who turns out being good, and knocks your Penn State team out of the playoff. Like, why would you want to even do that?
I think it's like it would be like March Madness, the Big Ten tourney, right? Like, a lot of times those that maybe the top 2 teams lose in the March Madness, conference tournament, and then it's like number 3, let's just use Penn State against number 8 Illinois, and if Illinois wins, they get in and they steal the spot. I think that's basically the concept. Which look, I guess I'm fine with that. To be honest with you, I'm fine with like. Let it look. It's one game. You know what to do. Win and in. So I actually am kind of not against it, to be completely honest.
Let me just double back for 1 second.
No way. There's no way. No way.
For me in this scenario, I'm like, okay, so Ohio State and Penn State are 1-2 and they get in. That's great for us. They'll compete well in the playoff. So then our number 3 and 4 who should be in is, let's say it's Oregon and Michigan. And then let's say, Oregon dumps to Nebraska and Michigan gets beat by Illinois. Then you're sending Nebraska and Illinois to the playoff, and the SEC ain't doing this. They're sending their best 4. And somehow that's us making a case that we're the conference you should come enjoy. It's just bad business. It's bad business.
Well, every conference has to agree to it, right? It can't just be one conference. And I kind of think they should, to be honest. Like that, it makes it a true play-in.
I guess with excluding the ACC and the Big 12, and then you got the number 3 team in the Big 12 going, hello, we could beat any of those teams. I don't know. I just hate the whole thing.
You know what I would make an argument for, which I think should be happening is I think the conference championship games should not be played at like fucking Ford Field or Indianapolis, or they should be on the team that is the number 1 team in that conference. If it's at the Horseshoe, put it at the Horseshoe. If it's at the Big House, at the Big House. Like using that, and then assuming they win that, then I would assume they would have another home game in the playoff, right?
Yeah.
Assume, why aren't we doing that? Is this too easy? Is it the university doesn't want that money? I mean, I don't understand.
Well, if it's the NCAA wants the money, and they're going to get more money by giving it to the fucking Caesars Dome in New Orleans or whatever. You know what I mean? It's gross. You're right. It should be a home game, Garrett. I'm sure you agree. You'd want one of these games at the Big House.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get it. I feel like since I was like fucking 14 years old, there's been shuffling of how to win the championship in college football and this way. And then there was 2 and blah, 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 like there's always been change. And I keep wondering like, what's going to be the official year of season that I'm just going to be like, I'm done. There's too many football games and I don't know who's in what. And my team won, but we didn't because now there's just so much.
4-loss national champion. This isn't basketball, man. I say go to my plan. They never will, but go to my plan. The championship game winners from the Big 4 all get in. The highest ranked champion from the group of 6 gets in, and 1 at-large bid. 6 teams, all champions, 1 at-large, and let's go.
How do you choose that at-large?
That'll be, voted on by a committee or something. I think it'd be, honestly, the way it's set up now, I really do think it would be very easy to figure out. So let's say we had like Michigan and Ohio State, and you got a 2-loss Michigan team is playing Ohio State in the championship game. They lose. But then over in the SEC, you got 1-loss Georgia and 1-loss LSU. Whoever loses that one's clearly the at-large. I think it'd settle itself pretty easily. But I don't know. I just would love to see that.
Condoleezza Rice figure it out. She's on the committee. She'll figure it out.
I'd be a little worried with the 1 at large though, because SEC is going to get that a lot of the times, and I think the Big
Notre Dame,
and I think the Big Ten has like a true right to be upset because the Big Ten's been a pretty good football conference over the last few years.
Yeah,
and look, maybe not top to bottom as good as the SEC, but the top of the Big Ten has been very good, and I think. They would have a legit argument in something like that.
Yeah, they probably would. I just would love to see one sport go to just like a true championship. Only champions. You can't win the national title when you couldn't even win your own division within your conference to even play for your conference championship. How are you the national champion?
That's why we're the last real national champ right here.
There we go. Boom.
You just win all the games.
Yeah, undefeated and win all the games.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Yeah, Garrett, what were you saying, everybody?
Andy, who did you grow up rooting for in college football?
Missouri.
Okay. Chase Daniels, that was right.
Yeah. That was a great time.
They're on the docket this week. They are on the docket this week for the game.
They are.
All right, let's talk a little Lions, and our last segment to knock it off here. There it is. Let's talk a little Detroit Lions, Garrett. I know you want to get into this and give your opinion on the team. I do want to bring you up to speed on Andy's choice during our NFL preview that the Lions would not even make the playoffs this year. He has since recanted because the listener sent us this. Lions were number 3 in defensive DVOA weeks 1 through 11 last year. What the fuck is Andy talking about? The injuries were too much. I mean, Jeff went off on Andy and he recanted and said, all right, they'll be.
No. Let's get this straight. It's Jeff guy. Look, I had already texted you. I said the Stafford injury has my concerns. I'm going to put the Lions back in, but I'm going to take the Rams out. And then you're like, good, because this Jeff is going up. Now, look, Jeff and I, whoever Jeff is, he's my enemy. I don't like this Jeff guy.
He is in the Gordon Butterfield fantasy football. He has been selected.
I'm gunning for that guy all year.
You guys are going head to head.
Every week. I want to head every week against this guy.
We had to put this guy in the fantasy league so we can go against Andy every week.
Sure. Andy, you're going to be at like a game one day and some guy's going to walk up and be like, hey, dude. I'm Jeff. You're like, oh no.
You're going to be in trouble. You are going to be in trouble, buddy.
Well, clearly, Mike, he knows him. He sent him a personal text. So like it's gonna be some guy's just gonna club me from behind because Mikey's gonna tell him where I'm at. Like that's
Yeah,
how
he's at the next Flying Chuck show.
My phone number is on the account, man. I welcome everybody. Slide in there, text me, do whatever you want to do, buddy. Just text me up, man. I'll give it to you like I'm fucking Kevin Durant. You better back it up. All right. So here we go. What's your take on the Lions here, Garrett? What do you think?
I'm excited for him, honestly. I feel like everyone in our lives, we still live with a PTSD that is in our bone marrow with them. And I don't know, all my friends and everyone I talk to about the Lions, everyone's not as high as last year, but like, boy, is it hard to say that I am scared of the Packers. I think Jordan Love's going to level up a little bit. It's going to be between us to take the division, but I also still think we're going to make the playoffs. And I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one saying it, but to me, I look at the team like we've almost been there 2 years in a row. And last year, this narrative is that we had too many injuries and we couldn't get there and still won 15 games. To me, the team's loaded and this is the year. Like, so I'm gonna say if everything goes right, I think we're winning the Super Bowl. But I feel like no one around here ever just says that sentence. Like right now, I have not heard anyone being like, this is it, baby. We got it. But last year it was like, it's happening. So
I think this is the perfect. I think this is the perfect what we needed for exactly what you said, right? 2 years in a row, we almost get there. And then you lose all your coordinators, and then the slide starts to happen. But this team, for everyone to be coming out and saying Packers are better, Bears are probably going to beat you now with Ben Johnson, Lions are declining, you're no good anymore. This team, that's all they needed to hear. This team's ready to fucking go.
Mike, prime example, Ben Johnson, since he's been on Chicago, I'm like, wackiness is happening. You love the media and talking and you're saying things. And I'm like, this ain't, go with your bit of advice, Mike. I'm like, he loves theatrics. You're not ready to play real football yet, Ben.
Garrett, these guys love to get in that big chair like this. The big chair is a lot of fun. And then they go, I still got to do a job here. You know what I mean?
Ben's always been like, I'm like, you're a great coordinator. But I wonder what would happen if you were a head coach talking the way you fucking do, dude. Because I don't think a lot of these guys are going to like you the way they like you in that little room of offense. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And Andy was saying this last week. Some guys are coordinators and just not head coaches. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. Well, also I will say about what he did right on the Bears, though, is he's got a good – Dennis Allen is going to be a very good defensive coordinator.
Sure.
Which is going to help the Bears way more than Ben Johnson's going to probably help the Bears to be complete, because that's kind of where the strength is as they move forward, in my opinion. Look, this is aimed directly at Jeff, who probably is listening right now, and I want him to know this. That's what I keep saying about the Lions. You know my feeling. Their defense isn't as good as everybody seems to think it is, but their schedule is much, much harder, and they're on the road a lot more. Last year, the reason why we liked them so much is because they had like 15 of the 17 games indoors. Jared Goff indoors. This year, there's way less indoors, and that's going to be much harder on the Lions and Goff. So that is why 3 weeks ago, when this Jeff guy tried to stab me in the back to Mikey, when he attempted that, I did pick the Packers to win that division. I had picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl pre-Micah Parsons. So I'm staying there. I'm staying where I'm at. I just do think the Lions – look, the Lions got to go to Baltimore. Last time they were there 2 years ago, they lost like a 400-0. And they got to go to Green Bay, obviously, go to Kansas City. They got Tampa. They go to Washington, Philly. I mean, those are just a lot of tough road games. I'm not saying they're losing all of them.
Yeah.
That's hard road games. So that just brings it down a little bit. But, I'm not pro-Lion, but
I'm not concerned with losing Glenn as the defensive coordinator. I mean, quite frankly, there were some games he was really dialed in and great. And then there were some games we were going, hey, man, this just doesn't look good. But there was a lot of injuries. But to everybody, I think the Ben Johnson is a bigger concern. But then they bring in John Morton, and raise your hand if you immediately heard Johnny Morton and you went, what? Johnny Morton is that now the offensive coordinator? The Lions are bringing everybody back now. Different John Morton, guys. He was the pass game coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Good offensive coordinator. We're going to see what he does week 1. We're going to get into that and the big 6 picks, which is right around the corner here, guys. But really quick, we got to hit the ULM report. Talons up, baby, for this weekend. Talons up for this weekend. Now, last week, we whooped up on St. Francis 29-0. We beat them, and that's one win. That's one win now, guys. So you know what that means. 5 to go. Yeah, baby. 5 to go to get to a bowl game. Now let's keep it moving. Guys, this week we got Alabama. Oh, yeah. Warhawks are traveling to Tuscaloosa. We've got Alabama. You guys, give me your quick pick on this game.
I see a vulnerable old dragon that just relies on its old fiery flame that ain't nobody scared of anymore. And these fucking Warhawks are walking in for hell, dude.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Mr. Frodo. Let's get him. Andy, you're on the other side here, huh?
Is the other side Alabama? Because if that is the other side, yes. This is maybe one of the worst spots in the world in this week in sports, and ULM is walking right into it. Look, I think Bama's gonna, if they are a potential, national title team, and I did pick them to win the national title, and I may have changed that pretty soon. They should win this game about 45-0. So yeah, I think Bama should get to it.
Well, we'll see, but I'm all over the Warhawks, baby. I'm all over the Warhawks this week. Give me the first half. Yeah, if they had a thing where I could just bet the first half, ULM's winning in the first half, and I think it's going to come down to a very good special teams unit for the Warhawks to knock through the game-winning field goal with the backup kicker in the game this week. I think we can get it done. I think we can absolutely get it done. Warhawks roll. We'll be live at the game, and I will be messaging you guys with just laughter faces after we pull this damn thing off, baby. Let's go.
I will say, if DeBoer wins this game like 24-0 or 24-10, that's a nightmare. He needs to win this game 48-3. Like, that's what he has to do. So that's why if I'm putting my money, which I'm not on this game, I'm not betting this game at all, I would just Alabama.
Yeah, listen, if once ULM wins this game, he may get a quick text message at a home game to meet him on the tarmac.
For sure.
Like, meet me on the tarmac, buddy. Like, it's a home game. Yes, meet me on the tarmac. Buddy.
If a ULM wins, he's gonna get a text. Are you renting or did you buy? And that's gonna be a bad text to get.
It's gonna be a bad one. Well, I'll ask you a quick trivia question, guys. When was the last time the ULM Warhawks won in Tuscaloosa?
1982.
Ooh. No, Nick Saban's first year at Alabama. ULM went in and knocked them off. So let's go, baby. This ain't crazy.
Well, that's wild. In Saban's first year?
Saban's first year. He talks about it all the time. When I got to Bama, I knew it was bad. We lost to ULM. And everybody's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. You mean national champion ULM? They moved up from FCS? Back up a bit, man. Let's say, boop, boop, boop. Let's back it up there.
Very interesting, though.
That's the truth. That's the truth. All right, man, here it is. It is time for us to make our picks, guys. To get into the Big Six picks, we're going to see how week one guest Garrett Fuller tunes up against me and Andy and the Big Six Picks contest. Big Six Picks is brought to you by Old English 800, the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast. Now, Garrett, when you're tailgating, what's your go-to drink?
Oh, man. Nowadays, what I would do is I would probably get like a little pint of Jack Daniels, and then I would just get like a 20 ounce of if it's a tailgate, I'm going to go regular Coca-Cola. Yeah, and I'm going to put those in some sort of big cup of some sort and with ice, and that's what I'm going to drink right there.
Tailgate drink. We're going to up your game this year, baby, courtesy of Old English 800, because here's what we're rocking every tailgate, baby.
Brass monkey, that monkey, brass monkey, chunky.
Oh, yeah, baby. Find you a couple of big cans of Old English 800. Get yourself a splash of orange juice in there. Forget those mimosas and all that Harper. No, sir. No, sir. We're going Old English 800 with the orange juice. Old school brass monkeys over here. It's Old English 800, official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast. Boys, let's get to it. First game on the docket. All right, Garrett, we're going to put you up first. We're going NCAA. It is Iowa +3 at Iowa State. The over-under here is 41.5. What do you got?
All right, so I kind of watched both of these teams like last night when you were giving me the stuff. I did some research here. So I see Iowa as they can run it. They're really, really good. Defense was kind of meh. I don't know. I saw that Iowa State the quarterback seemed like they could sling it a little bit, but they're at home, and I think they just had more weapons. Seemed like maybe they can stop Iowa's run a little bit. I was going to take Iowa State -3.
All right, Iowa State -3 and over under 41.5. We think this high score?
What did I say? No, I'm going to go under on it.
We're going to take the under. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Garrett is going to be on Iowa State and the under. Andy, where are you?
Tough game. I like both these teams a lot. Iowa State's the thing about Iowa State is, though, what we saw them in week 1 in Farmageddon, they beat Kansas State, right? What we found out the next week, though, was that Kansas State's no good. Kansas State barely won 38-35. And probably should have lost to whatever terrible team they were playing in week 2. They should have. So that tells me maybe Iowa State's getting some more love than they should be getting here in week 2. And that tells me I like Iowa. I think Iowa's got a quarterback. I think they can score. I'm always very nervous about Iowa State when they lost their 2 wide receivers who play for the Texans. So they lost more offensive weapons. I just think the first 2 weeks we've seen them now beat teams who are not that good. K-State, the name brand K-State is what's putting the money on Iowa State, is what making Iowa State the favorite. But if you made that game not K-State and somebody else, what's it? Pick them? Like, what are we doing here? And I know they're at home. So I like Iowa. I like the +3, and I like the over.
You like the over as well. Okay. I always have mine written down on the page here, guys. So, I'm not just bouncing off of what you guys say. I'm on the same board as Garrett here. I'm going to be on Iowa State. I'm going to take the better quarterback. And when you're going to play a lockdown game, which these teams are going to do, more than happy to let it click, let it run. Farmageddon, man. It's just going to be a defensive battle. And in that situation, give me a kid that has a chance in a 2-minute drill to go win the game. I'm going to take Iowa State laying the 3, and I'm going to be on the under as well. All right. We'll jump to the next game. And Andy, we'll let you go first on this one because it is your game, buddy. You got the shirt on. It's Mizzou at home against Kansas. I don't even know what they call this thing. I'll let you tell us, but it's Kansas +6 at Missouri. The over-under is 51.
It's called the Border War. It's the most hated rivalry, probably right up there with Michigan, Ohio State. It's like my nightmare. I hate this game. I mean, I hate it. I hate it this year because I think both teams are kind of good. It's the Missouri quarterback looked pretty good week 1 against a very horrible unit. They won like 61-6. Like, I don't even remember who Missouri played, but I think it was like, the school of the deaf. Like, that's what Missouri does early, generally. So Kansas is really good. I love that Kansas coach, Leopold, I think's his name. And I like that. Like, their quarterback's been there for like 14 years or so. I think he was like, I think he played with like, I think he played with like Danny Manning was at Kansas basketball. I think he played with Danny. So he's also very good. KU has looked pretty good. KU thumped Fresno, and then Fresno looked good last week. Those things are kind of important. But, Missouri's grand plan is like what Indiana's trying to do, is what he's like stealing that. I love, Signetti, but he's basically doing – Coach Drink at Missouri's been doing this for a few years now, which is – Cupcake City, for the first 4 or 5 weeks, you build up your victories and then you just roll the ball out, see if you can sneak one out. Missouri doesn't leave the state of Missouri until October 18th. They should be 5-0 by the time they get to they have a bye week and then they play Alabama. Now, at that time, I was like, Missouri tends to get thumped when they play upper echelon tier teams, which would be like Alabama, LSU, Michigan. Like those teams tend to thump Coach Drink. Regular teams at Missouri's eye level or below, Drink beats. He owns Arkansas. To me, Kansas is Arkansas. I like Missouri. I like the points. I like him to cover, and I like the over. And I think the over is going to happen. Now just know before you please don't follow me at home. This is a drunkenly homer pick, and I'm going to stick with it. But I like Missouri in the over.
All right, Jeff, we'll be hearing from you. All right, go ahead, Garrett.
I definitely agree with Andy with the over. I think both of these teams, like the Kansas QB, he could sling it. I don't know. And I don't know if that team, that's the thing, Andy, you were looking up these teams, like if they suck, like their opponents that I was looking at, I'm like, oh, I should have done that. I should have tried to get some context for these guys that they're destroying out here. But from what I saw in last week, Kansas's quarterback, they were scared shitless of him, like he was slinging it. Yeah. And so, but then it looked like Missouri could score too, but against, like you're saying, a team that sucked, but definitely feels like over, but I'm going to take Kansas with the 6.5.
Yeah, take the 6.5. I'm with you on that. We'll see where it goes, man. All right, let's get to the big game of the week. It is the biggest game on the week for the Doc. It's not even arguable. Yeah, go ahead.
Who did you take? You taking Missouri or KU?
You said KU.
Well, who are you taking?
Oh, I took KU. Yeah.
Oh, you took KU. Okay.
Yeah, I took KU in the over.
Just know this will be the last time we talk till Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I didn't go. I let you two
Yeah.
go. I'm sorry. I didn't even give mine. Yep. I'm going to be short-winded on it, man. I'm going to take Kansas. They look like they can play. Both teams want to score. 6.5 points, just too many points for me. It was a 3-point game. Maybe I consider Missouri, but 6.5. I think this is a field goal game. I'm going to go with the points and give me the over. Both these teams are going to score. I'm just
Lose my number. Lose my number.
I do think Missouri's going to win, though. I do, but
yeah, they could, and if they do by less than 6.5, we win, Garrett. So here we go. All right, Michigan at Oklahoma. All right, I'm going to give you my take first here, guys. This is going to be a big test for Bryce, and if you're Googling this kid, don't Google Blaine Underwood. You're going to get a different guy. You're going to get a different guy. But Bryce Underwood, this is going to be a big test for him because Oklahoma, Venables, defensive guy. Expect to see a lot of mass, a lot of different looks, a lot of late spies. Expect to see a lot of things. Expect to see this out of Oklahoma this weekend. All right. Controlled flushes. Expect to see some stunts up front that will force Underwood to see an opening on the other side of the field to roll out to some green, and there'll be a late stunt in his face on that. Expect a lot of that this weekend. I think this is going to be a little bit of a struggle game offensively for Michigan, but I think Oklahoma's going to need a touchdown on the spread. With it only being at 5, I like this to be a touchdown game. I think maybe Oklahoma pulls away with a late score. So I'm going to take, well, then I would take Oklahoma. Well, I got to switch it up. I just talked myself right out of it, didn't I? Yeah, I just talked myself right out of it. Listen, guys, I hate to say it. It's a learning curve here, but I'm going to take Oklahoma, lay in the 5, and I'm definitely going to take the over in this game. I'm going to take the over in this game. I think there'll be some points in the middle, and then it'll settle back down. All right, what do you think, Garrett? Andy, let's go to Andy. You finish this up, Garrett.
Look, I like both these teams coming into the year. I know I've mentioned this once on this today, but I'll mention it again. I do think Michigan has a legit shot at going to the Big Ten title game, which then tells me they have a legit shot at getting to the playoffs. If you look at their schedule, like coming out after Oklahoma, they have fire up chips. Then they go to Nebraska, Wisconsin. They go to USC, big one. Washington, Sparty, Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland, then Ohio State. There's only a couple games that matter on the schedule for Michigan, in my opinion, that I think they have a possibility to lose. This is one of them, but I'm going to take the +5. I don't like the coach on either side of the field, to be completely honest, but I like the Michigan coach more than I like Venables. I think Mateer is really good, and it helps that his offensive coordinator came to the team, but something just tells me there's just something in me that says take the points. Be happy. I think if you in neutral field, I think I'd rather have Michigan in the neutral field, Michigan over Oklahoma. I think I'm getting the points because Oklahoma's at home. So I'm going to ride with Underwood. I'm going to ride with slight coming out party where everybody's like, hey, at the end of the on Sunday, everyone's going to be like, hey, oh, you know who's not bad? Michigan. So
all right,
give me Michigan. Also, give me Michigan on the money line. Give me him +5.
Yeah, I'll be on Michigan money line some bets too. I'll be on that for sure. Give you the over. Give you the over. I'll for sure take some Michigan money line bets this weekend. I like them. I mean, if they're going to win the game, I mean, come on. All right, Garrett, give us the homer pick. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm predicting all of this with optimism, and it's going to be an amazing Saturday night of like, whoa, we passed the test. Like this was the test, and we are better than people think we are. And I'm hoping it's the game where we go, let's stop calling this kid a freshman. Like, we don't need a label on him anymore. Like, it doesn't matter if he's a sophomore. Who gives a shit? He can play football. He's better than a regular freshman. We don't have to call him that. I don't know. This is a game where you're going into Oklahoma at night. That is a big fucking test for a true freshman. So, but I'm going into it that they can't stop our run. And I just don't think they can. I think we're going to come out there and just be really stout, and he isn't going to have to do a lot. He's going to throw a touchdown, but that's about it. And then on the other side of it, I think we are rotating. That Mateer guy is awesome, Andy. I watched a lot of him. I was like, wow, he's
pretty good,
talented, and he knows his system. You can tell. But I heard that their freshman running back started the first game, and now he can't play. That's what I heard, or he's hurt. And so now they have these two guys behind him who couldn't beat out the true freshman running back. And we're rotating in like 10 deep defensive linemen now. And I don't think they're going to be used to this. Like, I think we're going to stop the run.
All right.
and it's going to be all up to Mateer. And even though he's good, I don't know. I think our defense is really, really good, and it's going to be within that 5 points too. So like, I don't know. I'm taking Michigan to win, baby. I'll take the points, but I think we're just going in to win.
Go ahead and win it, man. What do you think on that over under, boss? 46.
I know, Mike, I'm shocked that you said it was going to be over, and you said I think it's going to be under, but just slightly. I think it's going to be like a 24-20, something like that.
Okay. All right, man. You guys got me wanting to change my pick, but I can't. But when you talk about Mateer, I started to remember last year how much we were betting on Mateer earlier in the year with Washington State, Andy, remember? And they were winning and winning and winning and winning. And then down the stretch, he started dumping all the big games and started losing. And then they lost the default Pac-12 championship to a shitty Oregon State team. So Mateer has the ability to go down the toilet, man. You think you guys are going to get me on this one, but got to stick to what you picked, man. It could be a late score, I'm thinking. All right, before we get to the NFL, we are obligated by law to give a public service announcement on gambling to children.
What advice do you have the kids not to gamble?
So with gambling, there's only there's no such thing as losers. There's winners and quitters. So you just got to keep going and just keep. And you gotta you gotta phone a friend and you borrow money. You borrow from your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and just friends. And then there's no such thing as losing. It's a winning sport.
There it is.
Thank you.
There it is. Let's go.
All right, there it is, kids. There's your public service announcement required by law. Don't be a quitter. Borrow from your mama. Get that shit done. Make some bets this weekend. Let's jump into the NFL. How irresponsible. All right, let's go to game one. We'll go right to you, Garrett. It's the Ravens -1 at the Bills. The over-under is 51 here. Big game. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. First week.
I'm excited. It feels like it's like big boy football here for the first time. I don't know. Are you guys shocked that the Ravens are favored at the Bills on the opening night? I found that to be like, whoa, Ravens. Vegas must be like, you're badasses this year. I don't know. That shocked me. I don't know, but I was going to take Bills, and I think it's going to be under.
Okay, you're going to take the Bills and the under.
I'm going on under because it's first week, and I'm playing the whole everyone's going to be rusty. No one's played yet. So.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick. Andy, go ahead and hit it.
I'm looking it up. I'm just curious if that line is still. I'm just curious what it is. I mean, I know what we have for our contest, but I'm curious where it is.
I looked it up last night. I think it was still at -151.
I got it Bills -1, so it just tells me the line's moving. So
gotcha.
So it does. So, look, I have the Ravens. They are the team I think is going to win the AFC and probably the team I would pick to win the Super Bowl. I just think the team's loaded and. Look, everything tells you the Ravens lose these big games. They lost in the playoffs. I'm kind of going on the theory, though, that this game's going to matter to the Ravens a little more because last year they lost to the Chiefs on Monday night or not Monday night, but maybe it was Sunday night. Similar game, but it was against the Chiefs. They lost in that toe, the likely toe. The last game the Ravens lost was in Buffalo when Buffalo kind of smacked them around. The years, it's so easy to think the years should continue on like that. I just don't think the Bills are going to be quite as good as they were last year. I think they're still going to be one of the best 2 or 3 teams, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to blindly do it and pray to God I'm right. When I won't be, when the Bills win, I'll be like same old Ravens, but I'm going to take the Ravens -1 and I'm going to take the over.
And you're going to be on the over.
Yeah. I just think it's going to be points. I like, what are we looking at? 27-24, 20, 31, 28. Like it's too close for me to take the under. So give me the
yeah. Okay. Well, Garrett, you're going to be the only one on the Bills, man. I'm jumping on the Ravens here too, but I'm going to be on the under with you. I think there's a lot more of this offensive players just not playing at all in the preseason, and the defensive guys tend to play a little more. I think it's going to be a little staleness in the first half of this football game. I'm going to ride the under with you. All right, let's jump to that Bucs-Falcons game. I think this is going to be a hell of a football game, man. I really think this is going to be a hell of a football game. I think the Falcons are not getting any love in the media for how good I think this team is going to be this year. If those young guys can play the edge for them, that's all they were missing last year. You remember they started out hot as hell, and Cousins was playing great. Then he got hurt, and they wouldn't pull him, and they lost a bunch in a row. Then they put Penix in there and played great again. Penix is going to be good. This offense has got a ton of weapons. This defense just couldn't get to the quarterback. If they can do that this year, I think this is a team that I think can make the playoffs this year. Listen, I'm going to be on the Falcons. All right, I'm going to be on the Falcons, and the over-under here is 47. I'm going to be on the over in this game. All right, give me the Falcons taking the 2.5 and give me the over. Andy, what do you think?
It's a tough game. They're all over tough, obviously. If I'm betting the Falcons, I'm kind of what my advice would be pray it gets to 3. I think 3 is much you want it. So if you're betting Atlanta, just wait.
Yeah,
obviously, just wait. Right? If you're betting the Bucks, now seems like a good time to do it. I'd also let me just throw one other last thing in is you want to tease Atlanta. I think this is a nice little teaser team to do something like that. Let me just give you a couple stats here, and there's a couple games I think this matters for. One, they're not on there, but divisional home underdog since 2010. 30 games since 2010. Divisional home under. This would be the case. The Browns Bengals would be another game. The divisional home underdogs against the spread are 23-7. Since 2018, divisional home underdogs are 10-2. Since 2012, they're 18-4. So these type of games, the divisional home underdogs tend to go with the home underdog. So that is why I am going to follow that trend. I am going to take the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to pray it gets to 3. I'd feel much more comfortable at 3, but I'm going to take the Falcons. And there's nothing about that Bucs defense to me that has changed. Couldn't stop a cold last year. Same with the Falcons. Couldn't stop a cold last year. These two teams like to score. I like the over. So over in Atlanta.
All right, man. There you have it, guys. That's why we got Andy on the show early on, man. He's dialed into all the math of things, man. You're going to get the picks with the X's and O's. You're going to get the picks with the analytics. You're going to get everything you need to make a choice. Garrett, now you're confused. Make a choice now. I got her. Go.
The home underdog stuff got me. Honestly, I totally forgot about that. Like in the NFL, that's a huge thing. Like always take the home underdog. Like they're at home. It's a huge deal. But man, I was picking on the fact that the Bucs, I feel like, have had the most hype, at least in my sons who are about to be 15 years old. Their friends think the Bucs are going to be the bomb. Yeah. And so I was like, what do you guys think about this one? They were like, that Bucs are going to kill them. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to take Bucs in the points and I'm going to go under just because and them ain't played a game in preseason. Feels like it was a month ago.
Hey, Baker's a real deal. They got injury. I think Evans is not starting out to see, or no, not Evans. The other one. Evans is healthy. The other guy they got, who's the other receiver? Dang it.
They got
Godwin.
Godwin.
Godwin is hurt and he's out, but they drafted Ogbuku and he's going to be phenomenal. He's going to fill right in.
I've been hearing crazy things about him, that he's dope. So
fantasy tip: take Ogbuku and start him in the first 5 weeks.
Ogbuku is good. Ogbuku is a good little player for sure. And they got Bucky Irving. You know,
Bucs are going to be good. This is going to be a hell of a football game. A hell of a football game. All right, let's jump into the finale. Andy, we'll let you go first because you got no dog in the fight here, man. It's Lions. It was plus 3.5 as of this morning. It's 2.5. We're going with 2.5 for the contest. Lions plus 2.5 at Green Bay with no Micah Parsons. The over under 47.5.
Well, he might play, right? Micah might play. I bet he gets in for some snaps. I think he's going to play a little bit. There's no guarantees he's not going to play. But so
let's put that back.
There's a chance he's going to play. Look, this is my NFC representative for the year, my Super Bowl representative. A lot of love for the Packers right now. You know, they're at home. Let me tell you where I'm going with this, guys. And I'm not just pandering to you guys or fucking Jeff who's listening to this thing.
Buddy,
here's the thing. I don't get this line. What is happening? What is happening? Like what is? Yeah, I see. Look, I'm taking the over. The over is hitting. There's fucking mark it down. The over is coming for sure.
Okay.
I do not understand why the Lions, who are getting return ultimately the exact same team without some coaches, right? But it's pretty much the same team as last year. That went 15-2, who go on the road and beat the Packers, who are getting no respect and no love. And I don't get why it's at a field goal. This game, if you make it a pick 'em, maybe I'm taking the Packers at that point. But you're giving me a 2.5. It probably could get to 3. Like maybe. Like give me the Lions. I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't like it. You're gonna tease the Lions. You're gonna get them. I'm gonna get them at plus 3. Give me the Lions and give me the over.
All right, Lions and the over. What about you, Garrett?
I'm going Lions with those points, baby, because I think it's going to be so close. God, I want to say we're going to win, Mike. I want to say it's so bad, bro. But just first game, I don't know. So, but I do think it's going to be very close. So I'm going to take Lions with the 2.5. But I'm going to go under just because it's the first game and everyone. I ain't seen Goff throw a fucking live pass. I don't know. I'm just going to hold off on it.
Mikey, let me help you something to help you and Garrett here, just to feel a little better against the spread. By the way, By the way, if you're taking them at this number against the spread, you probably should just take them to win and take the money line. You want to guess what Jared Goff's record is in September against the spread? His first game?
First game.
No. 8-0.
Let's go.
8-0. So guess what? That means even on those bad Lions teams, guess what Goff did?
Wow.
They covered. You want to guess Dan Campbell's record in September against the spread ATS?
Very good.
Yeah, it's 11-3. Guess who I'm taking? The Lions. ATS.
You found a Horcrux within our team right here with those.
I love it. I love the use of the word Horcrux. That's awesome.
Those are hidden little gems right there. I'm betting different now.
Now I am going to have to research Horcrux though and see if it's still socially acceptable word to say.
You never know. Could be
because I don't know what it means. And you're using big words right now. And
it's a Harry Potter thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm going Lions big time, and here's why. Since DC's gotten here, we've owned Green Bay and we've owned them at Lambeau. Like we go up there and make it personal to just physically make them look like they cannot play with us. I'll expect more of the same. If you've got Montgomery on your fantasy team, line him up to start this weekend because I think we're going to smash Green Bay right in the teeth with Montgomery for a good portion of the offense, which is what we should always do. But listen, I'm on it. I'm on the Lions here. We're going to go up there and do what we do. And Andy, as far as the Lions marching out the same team from last year, I had a little video. I'm not going to show it here because of time, but it is of Jack Campbell and them asking him about last year. Did you see this? And he was like, man, meeting rooms were crazy because like Tuesday was the day you could pick guys up in the league, right? And you only got Tuesday and Wednesday practice before the weekend for the game. Now, if you're playing Thanksgiving weekend, you got one day on Wednesday to practice. He goes, my favorite game as a pro so far was that Thanksgiving Day game because on Tuesday we looked around the room. There was 12 new dudes in the defensive room that were all going to play. We didn't even know their names were out there lining up on Thursday on Thanksgiving. And you're just going, hey, buddy, you're going to stay home on this play. Don't worry about a coverage. You don't know what it is. Just stay home. He's like, you're telling guys you don't know their names what to do. And we punched Green Bay right in the mouth and won that game. That was my favorite. So that's what's different about this team this year, I think. I'm taking the Lions, and I'm taking the over forward down the field, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a win, baby. Let's go.
Everybody's on. Everybody's on.
All the Lions. It's free money.
That moment of silence was for the Packers.
Goff hasn't lost ATS. Come on.
Man, I feel much more confident now. I'm looking forward to this now.
Yeah, they're going to physically abuse the Packers. We're so lucky to get him game one. Parsons has no idea what's going on. Even if he doesn't play, this is beautiful for us because this will end up being the tiebreaker that wins us the division. You watch. This will be the game. That was my prediction on the NFL preview, and that's my prediction going forward. All right, guys.
If Carson was there the whole summer, I would be a lot more concerned about this game.
Sure.
But now dude's got a bad back already.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know the playbook.
Yeah. And we all know he doesn't really have a bad back, but for the sake of saving face, he's got to pretend for at least a couple of weeks here that he still does. So he's not going to play a ton in this game, even though he's completely fine and we know it. You know, but that's fine. It's fine. Let's go Lions, man. Well, listen, Garrett, thank you for jumping in with us this week, man. Big congrats on all the success over at Wayne County Life. We love it, man. You guys haven't checked it out. If you're new audience here, you're outside the metro area and you're listening to the show, go check some of that stuff out. It's across all social media. It's Wayne County Life, LYFE at the end. Check out some of the characters. It's fucking phenomenal. And we're going to go out the way we always go out on DWMOD. Oh, Andy got something. What is it?
No.
All right. Okay. We're going to go out like we always go out on DWMID lately because it just seems like all the worst human beings in the world are in charge of everything right now. And it's just, we're living in some pretty fucking depressing times. And there's nothing better than sports to bring everybody together. And it's sports for the win, man. Make you feel good at the end.
You'll listen to this crowd as Jack Hoffman, a young man that, as I mentioned, has really been adopted by this football team, just scored a touchdown.
Yeah, young cancer patient. Nebraska puts him in the spring game. They run a touchdown with him. And this week, this is another group of folks, and they've got this little baseball field built for some special needs kids with a little short fence, and they use a big wiffle ball so they can crush it. And look at these moments they're giving these kids here. That's what I'm talking about, man. Do something good for some people that need a little help, guys. Be good to people, man. Do something. Stick up for people that ain't got nothing going on, that can't stick up for themselves, and just be good human beings. And we'll see you next time.
We cutting loose.
College football is now B1G versus SEC. Down. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money. Ready? All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. Louis dogged you, Garrett. He dogged you with that kids with the daycare, man. Oh, man.
I love it.